We're being joined by our international football expert, Zach Lowry, all the way from the United States, New York to be exact. Zach, thank you so much for coming through, my friend. What a game we had last night. Now, this was not the result everybody saw coming, but in your opinion, what exactly did Paris Saint-Germain do wrong? Were they overconfident? Was it that Chelsea were just spot on? Or could it just have been that, the gods just decided to smile on Chelsea last night?
I think personally, from what I saw in MetLife Stadium, I think it had a lot more to do with what PSG, what Chelsea did right than what PSG did wrong, personally. I think that this was just a phenomenal performance from Chelsea. It was clear that they were just the better side from start to finish. There was really no point where PSG were able to lay a glove on them. Yes, they did come close at some points, Desiree Doué forcing good stops from Robert Sanchez. But overall, Chelsea just looked the more dominant side. And I have to be honest, speaking to the journalists throughout MetLife Stadium, speaking to really everyone involved in these two clubs, we just had the feeling that if Chelsea were going to beat Paris Saint-Germain, they would have to do it in the kind of underdog style that saw them beat Barcelona in 2012, Bayern Munich in 2012, and Man City in 2021. They didn't. They imposed themselves as the favorites. And I feel that a lot of the players, as well as Enzo Maresca, kind of took umbrage at the fact that so many people assumed that Paris Saint-Germain were going to be bossing proceedings, because we saw Chelsea just look so much more cohesive in terms of managing possession, right? They didn't really give away possession in dangerous areas, not really the same mistakes that we had grown accustomed to of Chelsea just a few months ago. They were the team that was really forcing the issue, that was quickly rotating it from their midfield to their attacking players, and overall doing a fantastic job of defending. I do think, however, they identified that the one weak spot, if there was a weak spot in this Paris Saint-Germain team, it was going to be that left-sided center-back position with Lucas Beraldo. Obviously, no William Pacho, no Lucas Hernandez, forced to go with their fourth choice in Beraldo. And I feel like that's really what we saw their game plan. Chelsea targeting that side with long balls in behind, and I think doing a really good job, knowing that PSG's aerial dominance is going to take a hit without Pacho and Lucas, and just trying to really cause issues with their quick counterattacks and really smooth possession play. I was really impressed with the way that Chelsea, specifically Robert Sanchez, was able to draw in pressure from PSG and unleash players such as Palmer and Malo Gusto with the long ball. It was a phenomenal 10 out of 10 performance.
I totally agree. But Zach, we also have to talk about the final as well. Donald Trump seemed to be enjoying himself tremendously, especially during the trophy presentation. Refused to get off the stage, was enjoying that's him right there smack in the middle, clapping and enjoying the scenes. Dead center. But let's talk about the halftime action as well. We saw the first time ever, and what a lot of people see might be the standard going forward, a halftime show that is pretty much symbolic of pretty much what we've seen in the Super Bowl. There was Nigerian superstar Thames, there was Doja Cat, there was Coldplay, there was J Balvin. It must have been very entertaining for you right there in the stadium.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't get to see all of the halftime show because I was chatting it up with some journalists in the press box, but I did get to see the end of Coldplay's performance with, I think it was A Sky Full of Stars, and yeah, really fun moment for everybody in the audience. You have four global stars, Doja Cat, a really famous American female rapper, Thames, one of my favorite Afrobeats artists, as well as Coldplay, a legendary band, and of course having J Balvin, fantastic reggaeton artist. I did think it was a bit weird that they had the performance going up
in the stands. Yeah, that was unique.
Upper section of the stadium as opposed to on the field. I guess they didn't want to make it full-on Super Bowl, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting spectacle. I don't think I've ever seen that in a halftime show at all. And I think it was definitely a welcome. It was definitely a kind of a new experience for a lot of the people who are traveling from England, France, or wherever. They're pretty much used to using halftime to go to the bathroom or get a hot dog. Now you've suddenly got 4 of the biggest musical stars in the world performing in front of you. So yeah, very interesting.
I totally agree. But finally, Zach, let's wrap this up. The FIFA Club World Cup. You were there from start to finish. You watched everything. You saw all the clubs involved in this as well. How would you describe the tournament? Well, some people have said that, it could have been better. FIFPro have come out to say that, it was a terrible tournament. It was a bad idea. And it overstressed the players who are going to be going back into preseason almost immediately. What is your assessment of the tournament, and does it have a future?
It definitely does have a future. There's a lot of stuff that could have been improved and that I'm sure will be improved going into the 2029 edition. But overall, the FIFA Club World Cup was a success from not only a financial perspective, but also a commercial perspective, right? We went into this tournament, it was very last minute, right? Not many people knew what was going on, why these teams qualified. A lot of skepticism, a lot of issues, even finding a broadcaster to take this event before DAZN did. But overall, we saw more and more people start to dedicate interest, I think, as the group stage whittled out and as it got into the home stretch, the knockout round. And I think that we saw it go from kind of an afterthought to the center of attention throughout the world. I think it is also interesting the way that you saw people of different cultures perceive this event. I think that, South American fans, Asian fans, African fans, they definitely had a much more passionate experience than perhaps a few Western European fans, specifically English fans, who were a bit more skeptical, a bit like, what is this tournament? But overall, I think that it was a fantastic experience and absolutely a massive upgrade over the previous Club World Cup, which, let's be honest, wasn't really a World Cup. It was more of a Confederations Cup for clubs. This, on the other hand, you've got 32 teams from all around the world fighting for glory. And yes, every single one of those players was tired. It's been the longest season in the history of football. But guess what? I went to 10 games and I saw every single player, every single coach, every single technical assistant give it their all to see their team through to the finish line. These players really cared about winning this trophy. They cared about being up on that stage in East Rutherford and winning the first ever edition of the newly expanded Club World Cup. So the passion was there, I think, from both the fans, the players, the coaches, and overall, it's only up from here for the Club World Cup. I think that this is going to have a very long future. And you've seen even someone like Enzo Maresca come out today state that the Club World Cup could be more important than the Champions League, right? We've seen Nasser Al-Khelaifi say that the Club World Cup could surpass the actual World Cup. I'm not sure if either of those things are true, but I do know one thing. This tournament has caught fire, and it's got a bright future in the game.
I think that is the best summary of this tournament I have heard from anyone so far. And that is why you are international football expert Zach Lowy joining us live from New York City. Thank you so much, Zach. We'll be catching up with you as the new football season progresses in just a few months. Thank you so much, Zach.